Welcome back. So today we're going to take a look at a case out of California from December 23rd, 2011 is when this case took place. But it's just now, finally, after a lengthy trial, has come to a closure. So in this video, you're going to learn not only about who the victim is, but you're going to learn about the perpetrator and the circumstances that took place around this actual tragedy. So I would like to thank you. Thank you very much for joining me today. And let's get into it. December 23rd, 2011. This husband and wife, William Wallace and Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, had been having an ongoing argument, if you will, where it had gotten heated at times over his inability to earn a living for the family and her on and off again abuse of alcohol and drugs. The argument went back and forth, and according to the neighbors, it wasn't the first time that they had heard them arguing, screaming at each other. But on this night, everything would take a turn for the worse. So December 23rd, 2011, William Wallace and his wife, Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, were arguing, and the neighbor thought, this would be a good time, with the holidays. Let's invite them over. We'll have a couple drinks, let the situation calm down, so they'll stop arguing, at least for the night, because tomorrow is Christmas Eve. They invited him over, but they both turned, William Wallace and his wife, Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, turned down the invitation and said, tomorrow would be a better night. So on the 24th at about 4 p.m., the neighbors came back and invited them over again. Everything seemed all right. They came by, they had a couple of drinks, they laughed, they listened to music. Everything was going, as well as, could be. After they, hung out for a little bit and talked and chatted with the neighbors, they made their way back to their apartment. About an hour or so after returning to their apartment, William Wallace and his wife, Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, started arguing again. The neighbors like, well, we tried to give them a cooling off period. They started shouting at each other back and forth, and then everything seemed to die down. And they're like, well, at least in the spirit of, Christmas Eve, they found a way to put, away their anger for the night, and stop yelling at each other. But that wasn't the case. Sometime the late hours of December 24th or early hours of December 25th, Christmas morning, William Wallace raised his hands again in anger against Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, but this time he went too far. He went farther than he'd ever gone before. And on this night, he struck her, he knocked her out, and he continued to beat her after she was unconscious. Some point, late hours or early morning, Za'Zelle Preston Wallace succumbed to her injuries. So William Wallace did what he thought would be the next best thing. He dragged her into the living room, propped her up on the couch, put sunglasses on her, and went about his morning. When his 3 children woke up that morning, 3, 8 years, and 7 weeks, when they woke up that morning to open Christmas presents, he told them, your mommy got drunk last night and she ruined Christmas. And this is why she wasn't moving. Her dead body, propped up on the couch, slumped over, with sunglasses on. They went about their morning opening up their Christmas gifts. William Wallace made a little breakfast for them and then decided at 9:30 in the morning, after she had been dead, according to the coroner, by approximately 5 to 8 hours, somewhere in that time frame, he called 911 and said she needed medical attention. When the police department showed up that morning, she was unresponsive. They rushed her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. And after examination of her body, it was determined that she had died of blunt force trauma to the side of the head. From 2011 until now, almost 10 years from the time that he attacked her, William Wallace has been in jail, out of jail, and living the best life that he can. His 3 children without a mother. She's gone forever. He took that from these 3 precious children. But yes, William Wallace has now been found guilty for what he had done and is now facing at least 15 years in prison or more for what he did. Za'Zelle Preston Wallace didn't deserve this. Nobody deserves this. Za'Zelle Preston Wallace, this wasn't the first time he attacked her. This wasn't the second, the third, or the fourth. And according to her friends and family, after each and every time that he raised his hands in anger towards her and struck her, they had that small, short honeymoon phase after every one. He'd get down on his knees, he'd apologize, she'd take him back. But she knew what the ending was going to be. Za'Zelle Preston Wallace was taking night classes to become a domestic violence counselor. Yes, she was working on trying to find a way, any way, to make a break from this man. Preston Wallace, Za'Zelle Preston Wallace. May God help her children now. William Preston Wallace has a lengthy criminal history. Violence, theft, drugs. But now, all 3 of these children are without a mother, and all 3 of them will not have their father. Not that he was ever much of one in the first place. If you find yourself in a situation where you can't get out and someone is hurting you, please call the number that's on your screen. You can call 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Call the number that is on your screen right now. Reach out. Make the escape. Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And you stay safe out there.